Hi guys. Sorry, I'm a little late. It's caught in a tearful conversation. I'm so excited. We're here to talk about the 13 Holy Nights. The Oracle deck that I love, love, love. Okay, there's Lara. Let's see. Lara. Yeah. Anyways, this is one of my favorite. I did it for the first time last year, and it's an amazing thing. Oh, here she is. Hi.
Hi, Kelly.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good this morning. It is so sweet to be chatting with you live. I think we've been messaging back and forth for almost a year now.
Yes, yes. You so generously messaged me last November, maybe December, and told me about this thing. I was like, yeah, great, send it to me. And I went through, and it's just like such a beautiful ritual. And I'm going to let you talk about it to our audience, but I think we sold some decks
Yeah,
because people are
yeah.
really excited about it after that
People are
solo
really
podcast.
excited. And kudos to you and your community because they are definitely action takers. And so, I'm not even, I think you mentioned it on your podcast,
Yeah, I
maybe.
did.
And suddenly I got flooded with orders and a lot of them from Canada, which was funny because I didn't make the connection at first, and I'm going, who told Canada? Where are all these orders from Canada coming
That's
from?
fun.
So thank you so much, yeah, for spreading the magic and sharing this beautiful practice with a whole new community.
Yeah, yeah. Go Canada. Thank you guys. So why don't you tell us how you came up with this ritual? I love, that you wanted to bring the holidays back to its original kind of magic and sacred energy, because it's become this like mad rush of consumerism and materialism and like pressure and stress, and this time is such a right before the new year is such a ripe time for manifestation and reflection and connection to yourself, and so just, yeah, tell us a little bit about how you came up with it, and then we'll get into what we do.
Yeah. So I actually learned the practice from my Qigong teacher in Colorado. That said, it is not a Qigong practice. It's really a practice that goes back to these ancient cultures that were in tune with the rhythm of the seasons, the patterns of the cosmos, right? They were living in connection with nature, capital N. And so this practice is done at the darkest time of the year, the winter, around the winter solstice, the time when, if you look at what nature is doing, the plants and grasses the trees have dropped their leaves, everything sort of receded back into its core, into the earth. Animals are slowing down or hibernating or certainly conserving energy. And then, what are we humans in the northern hemisphere doing? We're totally spazzing out, right? We are at our most frantic. We're shopping compulsively under fluorescent lights. We're overindulging in sugar and alcohol, which tax the physical body as opposed to conserving energy, right? And our calendars are jam packed. It's, for most folks, the busiest time of year. So really the polar opposite of the true nature of the season, the true gift and the true energy that is available if we are awake and aware and paying attention. So, so that's a little bit of the background of what the practice is. And you touched on a couple of really beautiful things. I'm trying to remember what they are now. But so I like to think about this practice as having basically two parts. And the first part is that we're receiving. It's this opportunity to receive guidance. It's the beginning of the light streaming back in after we've reached the peak of darkness, right? And so with the beginning of that light, there's this opportunity to capture an initial imprint of the entire coming year, or a foreshadowing or a sneak peek. And so that is the receiving bit, right? And of course, it's co-creation. So we're receiving this guidance, we're receiving this imprint or this foreshadowing or this almost like a spiritual roadmap for the coming year. And then we're also co-creation. We're giving our dream seeds to the darkness. So I like to say that we're planting seeds in the fertile soil of the darkness, or the womb of winter, so that they'll sprout in the spring, bloom into their full expansiveness in the summertime, and then in the fall you're sort of looking at the year past, deciding what you want to throw in the compost pile, what you want to keep for the next cycle of seasons before diving back in for another cycle of the spiral. So it really is, even though we do this practice in the peak of winter, and it's a winter solstice practice, it's really connecting you with the full cycle, that full rhythm of the solar year. And I've been doing this practice for 15 years now. It's delightful, it's magical, it's fun, and it is in a very sneaky way so profound and so life-changing. And it kind of sneaks up on you over the years because you're tuning into this rhythm, you're aligning with nature. And I like to say that the more we align with nature, the more we align with our own highest human potential. And so there's so much packed into it. And I think I'll pause there and let you respond. Yeah.
So good. I know I'm a big manifester, and I believe that, with intention, with stillness, with visualization, and ritual, whether it's, through gratitude or whatever, like, we truly become the magnets of our reality and our experience. And so to have this time where, once the shopping and craziness is done, and pardon me for, I'm Catholic, so I was raised Christian, so I celebrate Christmas. And this is kind of around that Christmas week of starting Christmas Eve into, past New Year's. So, right? It's past New Year's because it's 12.
Yeah, it goes all the way to the 6th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it, come Christmas Eve, all the chaos is stopped, and it tends to be that quiet, family time, unless you're like on vacation that week, which many people in LA in the industry are, because it's shut down. I just tend, there's like a lot of home time, and it is cold and it is dark. And so to have that week and have this ritual to reflect on the past year, but really set intentions for the coming year. And like you said, that first light after the winter solstice, which is that on the 23rd?
The 21st is officially the winter solstice. And then the practice actually starts on the 24th. Yeah.
Okay. So look at this beautiful deck, you guys. This is the book that has all of the descriptions of these cards. And then here is the deck of cards. It's one of the most beautiful decks I've ever seen. Like, that's the Jaguar card. And there's animals, minerals, and plants.
Herbs. Yeah.
Herbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, look at this. This is the bat card. It's cool.
Oh, that was actually the very first card that we created, was bats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's so cool, because what happens is, and you keep a journal, and you can go through the details of it, but essentially, for that first 24-hour period between Christmas Eve and the evening of Christmas Day, you pick 3 cards. That's one animal, one herb, and one mineral that set the tone for the whole year. And you write it in your journal, and you read the descriptions, and you're like, oh, okay, intuitively, like, this is what's going on, and like, that makes sense, that resonates. Then the subsequent 12 days, right? You pick one card for every month, and you put them all together. So it could be a mineral, it could be an herb, it could be an animal. You could pick 12 animals,
Right. Yeah.
But the energy and the presence is such that, just like, you're reading a tarot card or whatever, the cards never lie. So.
Right. Did you find that your cards that you drew really lined up with your year?
I mean, that is the fun of it. That's the magic. It was mind blowing. And I think I might have said this in the podcast, but, like, for instance, I had been setting this intention I said this in the podcast, but for January, I was really, and I'm going to do it again this year because the year flew by and I have not written one song, but I really wanted to focus on and writing some lyrics and songwriting. Like, it's just been this call, and I followed the call, but just, it's been a crazy year. So it's always there. I just haven't sat my butt in the chair to, like, write. So that's coming again. I'm going to start it in January this year. But so I had set this intention that January I was not going to drink. I was going to do the dry January, which when I don't drink alcohol for extended periods of time, I get really like creative and energetic and
Amazing. Yeah.
so and write songs. And so I drew the first card I drew for January was the whale
I
card,
was
and
gonna
that was
say,
like
did you draw whale?
I drew whale, which is all about song,
It
right?
is. Yeah.
Communication and storytelling. So I was like,
Through
okay,
song, right?
this really
Storytelling through
works.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's laugh out loud, goosebump inducing every year how the cards that you draw, and then also the other journal notes that you write, just about what's going on during those 13 days. It's laugh out loud, goosebump inducing how they later line up with your life. And I want to mention before I forget, because you talked about, how you're Catholic, and so you have your traditions. You don't have to drop your current traditions, right, in order to do this practice. It's something that, for me, I continue. We have a Christmas tree. We do the Christmas thing. My daughter loves it, and it's simply that over the years, I've gotten less and less hooked in to all of that, or drug under by the undertow of the mania of the holidays. And it's as if the 13 Holy Nights has taken center stage, and all that stuff has sort of taken a back seat. And it's still there, and I still participate, and it's sweet, but I'm just it's I like to say it's like I'm walking around during the holidays and I feel like I have this sacred little secret in my pocket, and like nobody knows, but I'm soaking in the mystical, and it's just this sacred little secret in my pocket while I'm maybe doing my holiday shopping or whatever it is, even if I'm out in the world participating in the holiday season. Um, there's a deeper part of me that's anchored into the divine, right? And this more mystical, more magical experience, the stillness, the quiet, the true gift of the season.
It's so I'm like so
Yeah,
excited. I can't. I've been waiting on, but it also gives you something like mystical and exciting all year long. Like when I come to the end of the month, I will look at, like, today's December 1st. So I will look at what card I drew last year for December, the 12th card, or, I guess the 15th card that I
13.
drew.
It would be the 13th.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right. 15.
One, two, three, and then
Yeah,
12. Yeah.
you're right. You're right.
So, and I think it was Lynx. I forgot my journal, but I'm pretty sure it was Lynx. So I just read it, and it's about listening and deep stillness and your inner knowing. And,
Yeah.
it's, it's so wild, you guys. And it's just a fun way to spend that week, that 2 weeks between Christmas and right after New Year's, and just really like laying out the year ahead, and seeing that how intelligent and kind of coy nature is to
Right.
tell you, like, it already
And
knows. It's so
comical
wild.
even, right? There's humor in it
Yeah.
because some of the things that tumble out of your journal just make you laugh the way they line up. Sometimes it's almost word for word, and sometimes it's much more metaphorical. So I also remind people to hold the practice lightly. Every year I have people who call me in a panic and say, "Oh my gosh, this terrible thing happened during the holy nights. Does that mean that my entire year is going to be awful?" And of course not. It's not always literal. Very often maybe there's something within that miniature disaster that happened in the holy nights that gave you some kind of wisdom that later serves to guide you through some challenge or adventure, later on in the year. So it's magical, it's mystical, it can be delightful and comical. My daughter's been doing it since the year she was born. You can include your families. What a beautiful way to introduce your children to something a little bit deeper than just commercialism during the holidays and this time of year. So my daughter, every year, she's 15 now, but every year she, "Oh mom, we got to go get our holy nights journals," and we just love going to the store and getting beautiful journals and getting ready for the holy nights and getting candles. We like to live by candlelight. We don't use the lights during the whole 13 nights.
Wow.
It's actually something to try. Even if you can only do it for one night, it is miraculous how settling that is for your nervous system. It's unbelievable. You'll just feel everything kind of drop. And then if somebody turns the light on, it's jarring,
Sorry. Yeah.
the difference. And so I highly recommend trying at least one night of pure candlelight. It's really, it's a
Yeah,
bath for your nervous
that feels
system.
very in line with nature. It just feels like we're stepping out of our technologically convenient lives and reconnecting
Yeah.
in a soft and
Yeah.
gentle, just natural way, which is
Yeah.
what we
I mean,
need right now. I think we need to
yeah,
come back into balance a little bit more.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Will you just walk us through? Because I'm gonna, and then we can wrap up. But
Yeah.
just walk us through, like, what,
The
after
nuts
when
and
people also
bolts.
start to think, yeah, just like the details, so that when people
Yes.
get their decks, they can rewatch this video and know what to do.
Yeah. The mechanics of the practice. So officially, the practice begins on the solstice, the longest, darkest night of the year. And we have those first 3 initial days to prepare for your dive, for your deep dive. So that is going to be personal to each individual. Maybe you're just starting to brainstorm and think about, okay, what do I want for 2024? What are the things that I want to do more of? What are the practices that I want to do more of? What are the things that I want to let go of? And so, based on that, you might begin to gather some tools or some supplies just so that you have less busy work to do during the actual 13 holy nights and you're ready for whatever it is that you're wanting to imprint. Like you're offering an actual, legitimate, energetic, physical stamp into this riptide of energy that's moving through and is going to get swept right into your future. So, if you want to do more yoga, maybe you're going out and you're buying a yoga mat during those 3 days. Or if you want to do more home cooking, maybe you're gathering recipes and ingredients during those 3 days. Or if you want to have a certain person in your life, make sure that you have their phone number and that you're going to reach out to them during those 13 days, right? So that's the first 3 days is preparation. Maybe you're buying candles so that you can do a night of candlelight, right? And then the first official holy night falls at sundown. This is the only tricky part, sundown on December 24th and carries through until sundown on December 25th. So that first 24-hour period, sundown to sundown, the 24th to the 25th, is your first what we call holy night. It's really a holy 24-hour period. And that 24-hour period represents the reflection of the entire year to come. And that's where you were mentioning that you draw 3 oracle cards that first holy night, 1 herb card, 1 mineral card, and 1 animal card. And those first 3 cards represent that foreshadowing of the entire year. The following 12 24-hour periods, sundown to sundown, represent in sequence the 12 calendar months. So you're drawing for the following 12 nights, 1 oracle card for each night. So the first holy night is the only night where you divide the deck into 3 stacks and draw 1 card from each stack. And the following 12 nights, each night you shuffle the whole deck together, all 52 cards. Each night, you don't want to be leaving cards out of the deck. It's very common for people to draw the same card multiple nights in a row, which simply means that a particular theme is up for you in your life, which happens, right? We go through seasons and whatnot in our lives. So that's sort of the basics of the practice, is drawing 3 cards that first night and then each following night. So the second holy night would be sundown December 25th to sundown December 26th, and that represents January, and then sundown December 26th to sundown December 27th represents February, and so on. And that's the basic format.
And then you spend the next year going back and seeing
Right.
how like so right on these cards that you drew in December are right on for what's going on in your life as the year unfolds. It's really
Yes.
wild.
And just like you're saying, the practice, it really does, it carries the thread of the sacred throughout your year. It's a constant reminder throughout the entire year that the magic is with us, that the mystery is with us, and that there's something greater going on than what meets the eye, right? And it's developing our relationship with the unseen world of energy and spirit and growing our faith. Because when we witness those synchronicities over and over and over again, it's the building of our relationship with the divine. And so yes, the bulk of the practice is the doing is in those 13 days, but you're reaping the benefits of the practice throughout the entire year.
And last thing, someone is asking if these cards are available in the UK.
They,
Do you ship to Europe?
they are available in the UK, and my apologies, as currently as a self-published single mom, I just have to go to the post office and mail them, via international shipping at the post office. And so shipping to Europe is about $35 right now. And that said, there's some things in the works, and looking forward to having a publisher, partially thanks to Kelly, and a series of synchronicities that led to a publisher who's looking forward to collaborating with me in the future, which means that distribution will be a lot easier, especially globally. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I am excited to plant my dream seeds in the fertile darkness of the winter, energetic, just ripe period right before the new year. And just to leave you guys, like, this is rosemary. I mean, look at these beautiful cards. This is star sapphire. Just giving you an example of an herb, and this is tortoise. I mean, these
one of my favorites. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much. Where can people find the deck?
Yeah. So right now it's just on my website. I'm not on Amazon or anything. Just the website is 13 holynightsoracle.com. 13holynightsoracle.com. Or you can go to my Instagram, Lara J Day, and my website link is there as well. So.
And can they still use the discount code Kelly15?
They can still use the discount code Kelly15. It's on individual decks. If anybody's interested in purchasing a case, just reach out via my website or on Instagram, and I can also apply that discount to a case.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so excited. I'll reach out and tell you some of the magic that unfolds for me, but I really appreciate it. I love this.
Oh, thank you so much, Kelly. So sweet to finally connect live and in person, sort of.
Yes, totally, totally. And I am going to do it with my daughter, Riley.
Good.
She loves it. I had the deck obviously on the way, dropping her off at school today, and she's like, let's pick a card, a card. So.
And with kids, it can just be playful. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah.
They can come in and out, and
She likes to get choices.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, have a wonderful holiday.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Kelly.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone,
Bye-bye.
for joining.
Bye.
Bye.